Okay, so we're gonna do a mini series on pelvic floor, on your pelvic floor. We are gonna focus on a little bit of how much we are like glute clenching, and so how much we need to work on. Number one, stopping glute clenching always and grabbing from the middle part of your glutes right around your tailbone, where we're always clenching there to gain our stability when we are carrying and lifting, especially children. But I find that a lot of us, including myself, I grip in the middle and then I tuck my hips underneath, or I hip hike. And so we want to try to get away from that because that creates a lot of tension and pressure on your pelvic floor. Because the tighter you're gripping those glutes, internally you're gripping with your pelvic floor as well. And we really want, when it comes to your pelvis and pelvic floor and core muscles, and when you talk about diastasis and all of that stuff, we really want to focus on the balance of your pelvis. So it is a bowl shape, if you will. We want to have the right and left and the front and back be as symmetrical as possible. And what tends to happen is that a lot of us are dominant on our right hand side. So we have a lot more tension on that posterior or the back side of that right hand side. So in that front side, primarily the left side, ends up being a bit weaker or has less strength because it's being pulled back, if that makes sense. And so the main goal of this whole series that I'm going to do, or mini series I'm going to do, is really working on trying to, number one, unclench our glutes and lengthen out those pelvic floor muscles to, again, release some of that tension that you're holding in there. And then we want to create better balance and stability throughout your pelvis. So we're going to focus a lot on low deep core muscles in the front. We're going to focus on those outer glutes to create better balance and stability throughout those glute muscles. We're going to work on inner leg strength, because again, that helps to combat or helps to balance out that pelvis a little bit better, because those inner leg muscles insert right into that pubic bone, which is the front part of your pelvis. And then we're going to work on controlled contraction and then relaxation of your glute max, the main muscle in the back there. And so as we're going through, we have 5 different days or programs that I'm kind of writing, mini videos, if you will, to kind of go over some of those things and kind of give you a better idea of what we need to be working on. But the first thing is going to be to unclench those glutes, start to be aware of when you're clenching them, how much you're clenching them. If you can get them to relax, be aware of what muscles start to fire up. And part of the problem we have, or the issue that we run into, is that our abs just don't have the stamina, especially if you've had kids, to be able to hold children or weights for a really extended period of time without you having to, again, reclench those glutes and kind of gain your stability from your pelvis and those SI joints. And so we want to really work on building up some of that deep core strength and then that stamina that comes with it, and some of those other muscle groups that then can create better stability on your pelvis, so we're not always just glute clenching, which leads to then pelvic floor tension, which then leads to a lot of those pelvic floor red flags, right? Where you're having pain with intercourse or leaking or stress incontinence with like that laugh, cough, or sneezing, and then hip pain, low back pain, pelvic pain. Any of those things also are technically coming from that pelvic floor being overly tight. And so we want to, again, recreate balance, get the tension to go down. I hope that all makes sense. But enjoy this little mini series as you work through. Please always ask questions as we go.